Hey everyone, this is Lauren Haug with Perch Real Estate. I'm the page admin for Sweetheart City Living with Lauren. We do real estate up in northern Colorado. We cover Fort Collins, Loveland, Greeley, Berthoud, kind of everywhere. So once a month, I kind of like to give you a look at the market statistics, and so I make these super fun infographics that I post on my page. But I like to take a little bit of a deeper dive using video and going over some of these charts and graphs because they kind of give you a nice long-term picture of what's been happening in our market here. So if you take a look at this first colorful graph here, we've got this red line is Fort Collins, the blue line is Loveland, and the yellow line is Greeley, since those are kind of the three biggest areas in our northern Colorado market. And what the first stat that we're looking at is the average sale price of homes. And like I said in the infographic, I kind of give you the snapshot for the month before, so you guys have the numbers for October. What these lines are showing us are just kind of the trend for the last 2 years. We have January 2018 all the way to October 2019. And if you can see, it looks like, we've had a little bit of up and down throughout the past 2 years, but things have been, over the course, as far as average price goes, pretty steady. I know that's not really saying a lot if you're a buyer in this market, because we still have a pretty high average sale price. So that makes it a little bit tricky for buyers, but really good news for sellers. We're not really seeing a big change here over the course of really the last 2 years. Like I said, a few little ups and downs, but nothing super crazy. The next statistic that I have on my infographic is the days on market. So I'm going to switch that over here. This one I kind of like to look at because it kind of sets an expectation for, if you're wanting to sell your house, what the average days on market is. And you'll see that really for Loveland, Fort Collins, and Greeley, they're all pretty similar. One thing I like to point out, so this was January last year, and that was when we reached our peak days on market. Not super uncommon because we're coming right out of the holiday season and we're not really into spring yet. But then you kind of see those dip, especially in the spring and summer. And now that we're hitting those holiday seasons and we're coming back into fall and winter, we're starting to see those numbers go up again. So not too uncommon for that. Let's see, the next one that we have on the infographic is active listings. So I think that's this one right here. New listings, active listings. Again, you can kind of see a trend over 2018, lower at the beginning, way higher in the summer, and then here's December of last year. January we were kind of dipping, and over the summer we had way more active listings, and now we're starting to see that dip again. Good news for sellers because you don't have as much competition. A little bit trickier if you're a buyer because there's just not as much available in these cold winter months. And then the last one we had on the infographic were homes sold. So we'll look at closed sales. Pretty similar to what we saw with new listings. We see a little bit of a dip in the colder months, a lot more in the warmer months. Again, here's January 2019, lower, more homes sold, and we're starting to see that even out and even dip a little bit as we enter that holiday season. The last statistic that I want to look at that I didn't really put on those infographics is the month's supply, or the supply months of inventory. Typically in a balanced market, you see closer to between 4 and 6 months supply. We haven't really had a balanced market in Colorado for a very long time. We hit high points where we maybe have a 2.5 month supply, and so we get even closer to that. But then we also hit these low points, especially in the springtime. What month supply means is, so you'll see here in April 2019, it's saying 1.6 month supply in Loveland, which means that if no new homes came on the market in Loveland, then by 1.5 months, 1.6 months, all of the homes in our market would be sold. And you see in Greeley, it's especially low, 0.8 months then. Right now, again, because we're entering those cooler months, we're starting to see that inventory go up a little bit, but still very strongly in a seller's market. Like I said, balanced is a little bit closer to 4 to 6 months of inventory, and this is definitely not a balanced market because we have 2.5 months of inventory, dipping a little bit even now because people are taking their homes off the market for the holidays. So that is your market update. Quick overview for what it has looked like over the past couple of years. You can kind of get an idea here. If you have any questions about any of these numbers, or if you don't live in Loveland, Fort Collins, and Greeley, and you're not looking for homes there, and you want me to pull statistics in another area, I'm more than happy to do that for you. Also, if you are curious to know how the changes in our market have affected your home values, I've added a link for you to go and get an instant home valuation. It's a really great tool, kind of just like an indicator of what your house is worth. I wouldn't take it at completely at face value for doing an instant home valuation. It's just kind of a gauge of if your home has gone up or down in value. If you want a more accurate and more in-depth valuation of what your home is worth, please shoot me a message, either on my personal Facebook page or Sweetheart City Living with Lauren, and I would be happy to work with you to get a more in-depth home evaluation done for you. Anyway, that's it for your monthly market update, and I hope to see you guys around. Thanks.